Do you struggle with your forehand on the dead run? Because it's probably one of the most important shots when your opponent runs you to the forehand side. You can consistently hit a great forehand on a run that gets you out of trouble. Well, in this video, I'm going to show you the 3 keys that I believe will really help you have a better, more consistent, and more powerful forehand on a run. So make sure you stay tuned. So in this video, I'm going to show you the 3 keys that I think are so important for having a great forehand on a run. Number one thing you want to make sure you have is great preparation. Too many times what happens is a player's running to the ball and they don't even have their racket ready, so when they get there, guess what? They're not going to be able to hit a great shot because at the last minute they're trying to organize everything. Well, you're out of time and you're out of luck. So the very first thing we want to do is when we know we have to run all the way to the other side of the court is make sure we have a great unit turn, and we're going to set up making sure that the racket's ready and we have this nice coil position as we're about to move. That way it ensures that when we get there, we can uncoil into the ball and make sure we have enough power, enough coil, and be able to use the ground force all the way up to hit through the ball. Number 2, making sure that you have the right distance and spacing for the ball. There's 2 things you need to be concerned with in this element of trying to have the right spacing. First of all, making sure that as we get into that unit turn that we talked about, we have that coil, that we release our hand to have full extension, okay? This is the kind of like the measurement of how close or far away we need to be to the ball as we're moving. Next thing is making sure that we're using what I call walking steps most of the way. You might have to use some setter steps, but mostly you want to use walking steps. What are walking steps? Walking steps are simply where I'm walking instead of taking sometimes too small of a step to get to the ball. What's going to happen if you take too small of a step is that you're never going to get there because you're taking all these little steps. So a lot of times you're going to start off taking those walking steps, and then if you need to refine your distance as you're getting closer, you might take a couple stutter steps. But most of the time you should be able to take walking steps the entire way there. Number 3, having great contact. You want to make sure when you're making contact with the ball that you're hitting and you're on the outside of the ball. The reason we want to be on the outside of the ball, or the importance of having that outside of the ball contact, is that's going to get the ball to go cross court. We'd hate to do all this running just to come over here and hit another ball in the middle of the court for your opponent to go behind you or run you again to the other corner. To stop this, or at least make it difficult for them to run us again, we want to hit the ball nice and deep and cross court. Now, while we're making that contact on the outside of the ball, we want to make sure we have a nice long follow through to get the depth we want. Now, I will say this. If you're on the extreme run, everything still holds true. The only difference is that we probably want to lift the ball up a little bit more, making sure you get a little time so you can recover and get ready for the next shot. So I hope these tips were really helpful. Go out and try them. Guarantee that it will help your forehand on the run get that much better. Okay, this is Kevin Garlington with TotalTennisDomination.com. Leave me a like if you did like this video, or any comments or questions, and make sure you check me out by subscribing to this channel so you can get more free great videos. Okay, go out and play tough.